So this is a story about when I was in graduate school in Chicago. And I used to run a lot on the Chicago lakefront. And then I would come into campus. And there was one road that I always knew posed a problem for me. It was a four-way stop, which you would think would be good when you're a runner because the cars all have to stop. But what made it hard was that this was a very busy intersection, and the cars were always distracted there, looking to see, when their chance would come. Plus, it was a divided street. It was very wide, and it had a median in the middle. And so I would always run across to the median, and then I'd stop because I knew that the car there wouldn't see me. And I would have to wait for the car that was there to go take their turn, and then I could go because I knew the next car would have to stop. So I did that. I'm there waiting for this car to go, and then what happened is I start going across, and I nearly get hit because the next car decided to piggyback on that car that was going. It wasn't her turn, but she decided to piggyback on it. And I should mention that this was an African-American woman, and that will become relevant for the rest of the story. So she nearly hits me, doesn't see me at all, but she nearly hits me, and so I have to put on the brakes, I have to stop suddenly and kind of dodge out of her way. And as she passes by, to let her know that she almost hit me, I slapped the trunk of her car. Right? Just gave it a nice little smack to let her know I was there. Well, I keep running, didn't really think much of it, and pretty soon I see her behind me and then next to me, and she's yelling out her window at me, and I have no idea how she got behind me so quickly because, like I said, this was a busy intersection. She had to pull a U-turn and come after me, but she did. She came after me and is yelling at me for touching her car, right? So I violated some taboo where I touched another person's car, and she was angry about it. And so she's yelling at me, and I'm yelling at her for having almost hit me. And then first chance she gets, as I'm passing through a driveway, she tries to pull in there and hit me. And so I dodge around her car for the second time. This time I resisted the urge to smack her car a second time. And I keep running and yelling at her, and she's yelling at me. And pretty soon the road I'm on turns into a one-way street with her going the wrong way. Well, she's yelling at me, telling me that she's going to, and then here's the expression she used. She said, "I'm going to put a cap in your white ass." Okay, so now she's tried to hit me, or she's nearly hit me twice, and once it was intentional, and she's just threatened to shoot me. Anyways, we're yelling back and forth. Then this other woman who's on the other side of the street, a pedestrian, starts yelling at her and telling her that she's going the wrong way on a one-way street. And, I'm yelling at her because I'm mad that she almost hit me, and she's telling me that she's going to put a cap in my white ass. And then we come to a cross street, and at this point she's realized that she's kind of getting herself into trouble because a car is going to be coming the other direction pretty soon, and then she doesn't know what she's going to do. So she decides that she's going to take one more pass at me, tries to hit me again as I come to that intersection. I dodge around her. She drives off. I never see her again. But at this point, I'm running back to campus, and as you can imagine, my adrenaline is spiked, right? I am really hopped up on adrenaline, and I start trying to process it all. And I realize just how angry I am at this point, right? You can imagine how mad I am. And I start trying to process my feelings, and I realize that there's one thing that I'm most angry about. And it's not that she almost hit me 3 times, and 2 of those times were intentional. And it's not that she threatened to shoot me. It's that she called my ass white, which is funny when you think about it because it is. So then I started having to think about, well, why am I so angry that she called me white? And the only answer I can come to is that it's not relevant, right? That it's not relevant in that situation that I was white and she was black. So